You ever spend $2 trillion on defense just to get shown up by a rifle from 1947? Yeah. Welcome to military procurement. U.S. military hardware has changed the course of wars. It's also embarrassed us in front of the entire world. Sometimes American weapons redefine modern combat. Other times they redefined what not to do. Today we're breaking down 5 times the U.S. crushed the competition. Watch in real time at the deterioration of my mental health as I desperately attempt to get the validation of strangers on the internet. I am Mandatory Fun Day, and this is your dose of tactical truth. Watch until the end where I look at my favorite comments from a previous video. Some of them are funny, some of them are mean. One of them made me cry. I'll let you guess which. First up is the F-22 Raptor versus the Russian Su-35. The F-22 Raptor was America's answer to future air superiority, a stealth jet built to dominate before enemies even knew it was in the sky. Not to be confused with the F-150 Raptor. These are not Ford Tough. It was developed in response to Cold War threats, but by the time it entered service in 2005, it had no real rival. In exercises, Raptors consistently defeated 4th-gen fighters in 100-to-1 kill ratios. That's way better than you ever had while your mom was slinging Hot Pockets to you down into the basement. Despite limited production, only 187 units built, it set the standard for what air superiority fighters should be. It's got a top speed of Mach 2.25, super cruise of Mach 1.8 without afterburners, stealth radar cross-section of next to nothing, thrust vectoring, AESA, radar, full data fusion. I don't know what any of that means because I'm not a flight guy. It's got lots of weapons, tons of weapons. Look, you can pick from anything around me, around my head. You see here? These are really, right here. You guys see? Then we've got the Su-35, top speed of Mach 2.25, no stealth, but strong IR, ST sensors, 3D thrust vectoring for close combat. It's got 12 hard points for weapons, a large missile loadout, with a 100% guarantee to get your mom wet. The Raptor's edge isn't speed, it's its ability to kill without ever being detected. The Su-35 may outfly almost anything in a dogfight, but it rarely gets that chance. In real combat, the first shot usually decides the fight, and the F-22 fires first. We should nickname it Rambo because it always draws first blood. Russia still hasn't fielded a true 5th-gen rival at scale, which tells you how ahead of the curve the Raptor really is. The only real downside is the cost and limited numbers. The few, the proud, the Raptors. Next up, we have the M1 Abrams versus the T-72s of the Gulf War, fielded by the Iraqis. In the 1991 Gulf War, American M1A1 Abrams tanks destroyed over 1,800 Iraqi armored vehicles. Most of the engagements were over before the Iraqi tank crews even realized they were under attack. Reminds me a little of myself, finished before anyone even knows I've started. Abrams crews used thermal imaging at night, while T-72s used basic optics. The battlefield looked like a one-sided training exercise, with Iraqi tankers abandoning their vehicles mid-fight. Some Abrams took direct hits and kept moving. How's that for warrior ethos? Even our vehicles don't quit. The M1A1 Abrams has a 120mm smoothbore cannon, incredible armor, thermal sights, computerized fire control, has a speed of up to 42 miles per hour and a range of 265 miles. The Iraqi variant of the T-72 had a 125mm gun, manual loader, basic steel armor, limited fire control, no thermal optics, had a speed of 37 miles per hour and a range of 280 miles, with a 100% guarantee to get your mom wet. The Abrams wasn't just a better tank, it completely outclassed everything Iraq fielded. The Gulf War wasn't a test of firepower, it was a test of tech, and America brought night vision to a daylight-only fight. This was when the US proved it didn't just have the most tanks, but it had the smartest ones. What now, Jane Fonda? The video's not over, but if you want to support me further, you can head over to themandatoryfunday.com. We've got shirts, we've got hats, coffee mugs, everything you could ever want. Literally everything, other than the approval of your father. On the website, you can become a member, and then you get 20% off merch and access to exclusive content that you will only see there. We also have a link for regulation-compliant shirts that you can wear in uniform. Let's get back to the video. The Tomahawk cruise missile is what we're talking about next versus the Soviet Scud. The Tomahawk cruise missile debuted in the 1980s and was a cornerstone of U.S. precision warfare by the 90s. It proved its value in the Gulf War, Kosovo, Iraq, and Syria. In contrast, Iraq's Scud missiles were notoriously inaccurate and often missed entire cities. Tomahawk surgically hit command bunkers and radar stations with zero warning. The Tomahawk cruise missile will be starring in the latest Mission Impossible, or was that Tom Cruise? Either way, they are both legends of the 80s. Movie trivia, Tom Cruise is actually short for Tomahawk Cruise Missile. The Tomahawk has a range of 1,000 miles, terrain following GPS plus INS plus DSNAC. 1,000-pound high explosive or submunition subsonic launched from ships and subs. The Scud has a range of 180 miles, CEP of 1,000 meters, terrible accuracy. Liquid-fueled, bulky logistics based on 1950s tech with 100% Are we seriously doing this? I can't say it a third time. The Tomahawk let U.S. commanders destroy strategic targets from hundreds of miles away with no pilot risk. I don't know why I just stuttered. I'm not having a stroke. I feel like I'm losing the younger crowd. Kids, imagine a drone that exploded on impact. It was a precision scalpel compared to the Scuds sledgehammer, which was my nickname in high school. I'll let you figure out why my nickname was Sledgehammer. I'll let you figure that out. Next up is the B-2 Spirit versus China's H-6 bomber. The B-2 was the first stealth strategic bomber capable of slipping past enemy radar and hitting nuclear targets undetected. Since its debut in 1997, it has flown missions over Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya. China's Hotel 6 bomber, based on the 1950s Soviet Tu-16, remains their primary bomber. It's still lacking stealth. The B-2 Spirit has stealth flying wing shape, a range of 6,900 miles global with refueling, payload of 40,000 pounds, and the cost per unit is that of a small country's GDP, $2 billion. China's bomber has a range of 3,700 miles, a payload of 20,000 pounds. It is non-stealth, it has limited precision-guided capability, and it has a 100% guarantee of, come on guys, that's enough! I need to find better comedy writers. There's flies that are bugging me in here. These f***ing flies, dude. Damn flies. There it is. What that mother... The B-2 gives the U.S. the ability to strike anywhere, anytime with almost no warning. China's Hotel 6 is getting upgrades, but it's a relic in comparison. This isn't just a stealth advantage, it's the ability to control escalation, project power, and disappear when the job is done. It's like the E-4, or the warrant officer of planes. Next up, we have the MQ-9 Reaper versus the Iranian Shahed 136. The MQ-9 Reaper is the modern battlefield's eye in the sky, delivering real-time surveillance and lethal strikes from above. When Blue Oyster Cult said don't fear the Reaper, they weren't talking about the MQ-9 Reaper. This one should be feared by any living thing. It's taken out terrorists in Iraq, Syria, Pakistan, and Yemen. Iran's Shahed drones, by contrast, are mass-produced kamikaze drones with limited control. Essentially, in this fight, it is a Rocky versus a drunk homeless man. The MQ-9 Reaper has endurance of 27 hours, maximum altitude of 50,000 feet, has payload of Hellfires, GBU-12s. In contrast, the Shahed has, one-way attack. It's a one-way attack drone. It has a range of 1,000 miles. It has a speed of 115 miles per hour. No sensors, no strike options beyond impact. It's pretty much, goes somewhere and goes boom. Some people would say this is not an apples to apples comparison, but this is my video and this is not a democracy, so I don't care. While the Reaper provides high-level battlefield awareness and precision strike options, Shaheds are glorified flying bombs. Effective in swarms, sure, but in a tech race, they're a tricycle next to a Tesla. And like a Tesla, there's lots of fire and explosions. Now on to the comments. Bless you, Mandatory Fun Day. You make me proud to be an American. Thank you. You should fact check your information on desertion rate. Ukraine have far higher numbers on that than Russia. I don't know if that's true. I've seen conflicting reports, but given the massive amount of propaganda that's coming out of both sides, I do my best. Russia is definitely not losing the war. I'm not even sure Ukraine's the size of Texas, and Russia is Russia. They were trying to win this thing in like 48 hours, and here we are, several years later. They're definitely not winning, maybe not losing. I don't know. This is cope, unfortunately. If your birthday has 2000 and something in it, stop using your f***ing slang with me, you disrespectful little I don't know what it means, and then I have to go to Urban Dictionary. Hold on, we're going to Urban Dictionary right now. What does an expression of spite towards someone who suffered a setback? Listen here, Jonathan Blank 9034. I didn't appreciate that. From Roger Davis 6616. Much respect, homie. Keep up the great work. Thanks. I appreciate your comment more than Jonathan's. Should stick to comedy or do some real research. Brother, you're the one listening to some yahoo shouting at a camera on the internet, okay? Whose fault is this really? Logistics wins wars, from MK Venner 2. The first 100 years of the United States existence, we did all right militarily, but we lost a lot because we did not have effective logistics. The literal first battle of the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Bunker Hill, the history nerds will probably pick that apart. We lost because we ran out of bullets. We would have beat the Redcoats, the Brits. And I love you guys. I don't like your food freaks me out, but I love you guys. I'm glad we're friends now. All right, this is a long one, Toxic Nubs. It's probably going to cover the whole screen. You're active duty, right? Which means everything you post is signed off on. That's not true. Soldiers aren't allowed to give statements, let alone run entire social media campaigns. I'm not giving any statements, nor am I running an entire social media campaign. I say this to simply inform people that you are not an honest source of information. If you believe this guy that Russia is losing in Ukraine, you're just misinformed. I used to like your content before you turned into a blatant propagandist. It's gross now. Yeah, it doesn't matter what side I take or what I say or how neutral I try and stay or just if I try and report things that I think are factual, somebody just calls me propaganda. And not like when the British see something that they like, you know what I mean? Like a propaganda. I do my best. I do my best to be unbiased and transparent and all that stuff. You know, nobody's paying me to do this, so I don't know. Take it for what it's worth, guys. Turkin's Dogma 7675 said, I love yelling at my camera for you. You're the best. No, Turkins, you're the best. That's all we have this time. I appreciate all of you. I love you. I'm proud of you. Please watch one of the other videos. Check them out. Oh, I do this all the time. I yell at the camera, and you know, at this point, I'm just rambling. Watch one of my other videos, and if you tell me about it in person, I'll give you a hug. It'll probably not be a very good hug, but it'll be a hug. We'll be uncomfortably close. See you next time.